In Matlab, you also have the option of storing a bunch of numbers together, and this is typically referred to as an array, a vector, a matrix, and in Matlab it all refers to the same type of idea. So an array is a combination of numbers stored under one variable, right? And to create an array, you need to use the square brackets to do so. So let's create an array, let's call it array underscore 1, and I will say that it's the combination of the even numbers 2, 4, 6. Okay, and this creates an array. Now, since this array is just one set of numbers in one row, this type of array could be called a vector. Okay, so a vector is an array consisting of just one row of numbers. A matrix, on the other hand, consists of an array having both rows and columns of numbers. And to divide rows and columns, you need to use the semicolon operator. So I could create a matrix, let's call it matrix underscore 1. And in this matrix, I'll have 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6 on the first row. And then I'm going to move to the second row and write another set of numbers, let's say 3, 5, 7. Then I'm going to move to another row and write the third set of numbers, which is 1, 0, 1. So as you can see here, the rows are separated with the semicolon operator, and the columns or the entries between columns are just separated using a space. So if I press enter, you can see here I created a 3 by 3 matrix. The first row contains the numbers 2, 4, 6, and then I have my semicolon to move on to the second row, 3, 5, 7, semicolon to move to the third row, 1, 0, 1. And it could be any type of size, so an array could have any size. So I could create just one column, let's call it one column array, and it just could be 1, semicolon 2, semicolon 1, and it creates just one column with these three numbers. And your matrix could have any size, so you could create a 2 by 2 matrix, a 4 by 4 matrix, a 4 by 2 matrix, it doesn't matter, whichever size you need for whichever type of operation you want to deal with. There are some special types of matrices which you could create. So the first one is called zeros. So if you write the function zeros and then put a number between it, let's say 7, it will create a matrix of just zeros with 7 rows and 7 columns. There's also a similar function called ones. Let's say ones 5. So it will create a matrix just full of ones, 5 rows, 5 columns. You can make it 3 rows, 3 columns, 2 rows, 2 columns, depending on what you need. There's also a function called diagonal. So let's say I can create basically diagonal, and I want my diagonal to consist of these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will create a matrix with a diagonal containing the numbers you put in this array, right? So here I created a diagonal. I created a diagonal containing 1, 2, 3, 4. So it created a 4 by 4 matrix with 1, 2, 3, 4 along the diagonal. So matrices, vectors, arrays are an important tool because many times in Matlab you're using multi-dimensional variables. So let's say you have X and Y data, or you have X, Y, Z data. So it's always easier to just store them in matrices.